Welcome back everyone. Engineering economics. In this problem, we will review a present worth of a project. So in this example, initial cost of our project is 15,000, as you can see here at the very beginning, and there is an annual maintenance cost of 1,250, and annual interest rate of the project is 8%, and project keep repeating itself every 10 years up to 30 years. We want to calculate the present worth of the project. So it just keeps repeating the same condition at 10 years, then at 20 years, and then at 30 years is the stop line or finish line of our projects or the entire time span. To start our problem, in such problem, we can have like the initial cost of our problem, this 15,000 as the present worth, because that's the very beginning of the problem. That's a present worth of the project. Then a annual a maintenance which is 1,250 times a coefficient which is a reading for present time, and from the annual maintenance by 8% increase rate and over the entire project time span, which is 30 years. So the other component is a reading of a 10 years, a capital from at the 10 years, and just transfer it to the start or present time of the project. So that's 15,000 times a reading of present from future by the same interest rate for a time span of 10 years. Definitely for the other one, which 20 years, we have to repeat the same 15,000 present value reading from future by 8%, but this time for a time span of 20 years. We'll transfer it from 20 years to the present time. Then if you just jump to any engineering economic tables, you just and find your interest rate, then the very first column is number of years or months. In our problem, that's the year. And then the annual component, the annual maintenance is 1,250 times reading for present from annual for 8% over 30 years. If you just jump to present over annual for 30 years, and it just gives you a coefficient of 11.2578. And if you replace that in the main equation multiplied by 1,250, it just gives us this component for our problem. Then the other one is a 15,000 times present reading from a future for 8% and a duration of 10 years. So if we just jump to the present over future column for 10 years, it just gives us a coefficient of 4632.4632 multiplied by 15,000. And the last one is a 15,000 which repeats at 20 years. That's a present reading from future for the same interest rate over a span of 20 years. And if you just jump to the correct table, it just gives you a 0.2145. Replace that in the equation multiplied by 15,000 and add this component together plus initial cost. So if you have the coefficient, which is, we just read them from the table, for the first one is 11.2578, for the second one it was 0.4632, and for the last one it is 0.2145. Add all of them up together and report it like a unit calculation. That's the present worth of our project. In terms of money, the present worth of our project is almost $40,000 for such condition. Thank you. We'll solve more engineering economics problems.